So it's another day, another beer for our audience.
Indeed.
And I was fortunate enough, again, I know I'm going to say it again, it sounds like a broken record, but brewers send us beers. And they do. And so the Shipyard had seen us do the Pumpkinhead beer, which we both kind of liked. And they sent us a beautiful 4-pack of the Pugsleys Signature Series. And which is actually named after their brewer, Alan Pugsley. There's a nice little picture of him there. We've got it there. He is right there. Yeah. And I thought I would try the XXXX IPA for us at a lovely 9.25% alcohol.
Woohoo!
And you know, I know IPA is a pretty popular style. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, for sure. The GABF IPAs, American IPAs in particular, are the largest category without question. English IPAs are also way up there.
Ooh, nice color. Look at that color. Wow, pretty color. And
I'm assuming this would be an English IPA stylistically.
Because he is from England, and this is his little signature series. And this is
I wouldn't say little either. Alan's one of the tallest guys I know.
I didn't mean that. Sorry, Alan. I don't know you personally, but the Shipyard folks have been very nice to send us beers. And oh yeah, it's pretty. I mean, that's a nice color. It's got like an amber color to it.
It is lovely. And it's just bright as can be. The foam is just. That's one thing I've always noticed about Shipyard beers. I don't know what they're doing, but they always manage to just get this thick, rocky head. Quite nice. And the aroma right out of the gate was typical, that Ringwood kind of fruity, almost doughy character, but also they've got a lot of hops there. And
good, you know, I'm going to go back to what I've said before, and you've corrected me countless times, but anybody just joining us, I always equate some of the really hoppy beers, not as bitter, but I always tend to taste the sweetness. And you've corrected me a lot on this. It's not really a sweetness I'm tasting, but this is very fruity to me.
Yeah,
a lot of good fruity notes to this.
Ringwood,
and yeast very little bitterness at all for being. You would think a XXXX IPA, this would be like hit you over the head.
Yeah, I think it's there is a good bitterness there, but it's very well supported.
Right.
So it does have some actual sweetness, like palate sweetness. We often describe fruity aromas as being sweet. Of course, we don't perceive sweet on the palate, but because we are used to like tasting sweet when we eat like an apple or a peach or whatever, we tend to think of fruity flavors as being sweet. Anyways, there's also a lot of fruit character, not only from that yeast character that is very distinctive with Ringwood yeast. I'm also getting a lot of that wonderful, being an IPA, I assume it's dry hopped heavily.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And it's a lovely beer. My assumption also is that using some English hops here. Do we?
Yep, I'm gonna right there. You see right there on the bottom, all of that's going to appear. They sent me a lot of nice notes that I did not memorize all right now. But oh, there you go. Let's do a little reading.
I'm seeing some American hops here: Glacier, Cascade, Warrior, Summit. So this is an American IPA, really.
Okay.
Although, I mean, I think I guess if I was judging this. There may be a little bit of confusion there with that yeast character, but I think there are plenty of American IPAs that do tend to throw up a lot of estery, that fruity estery quality. But I think what really makes the Ringwood yeast distinctive is that kind of, it's fruity. I often describe it as having a doughy quality, which it's just a descriptive term that means something to me. I'm not sure if that translates well to everybody else, but it has that kind of like bread dough, you know, it has that sort of wonderful bready, doughy. Wow.
I like hoppy beers. I'm not a big fan of bitter beers. You know, they're like I like hoppy beers like this, where I get a little bit of the sweetness in that, and it's very well balanced. I mean, I think though if I had seen this in the store, I would think I would get smashed in the head with, you know, such big hop flavor. And maybe it's there, and I'm just not tasting it. And obviously, there's a lot of hops in it.
The thing that scared me was the XXXX part. I just thought this was going to be extraordinarily boozy.
Oh, really? But, okay. And at 9%, it's still pretty big.
Yeah, it's a big beer. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to be throwing back pints of this. But at the same time, I think it's, again, I keep coming back to this whole well-integrated alcohol character. To me, this is very well integrated. You do perceive a little bit of that heat on the palate, but not in a bad way at all. This is another one of the, this one could kind of tap you on the shoulder after a little while if you weren't fully aware that you were drinking a 9.5
and kick you in the ass. So and always with these beers, as we've said before, be careful because they do sneak up on you, especially if you're driving and so on. It's the kind of beers that you have like 1 or 2 of. You don't have 6 or 7 of.
Yeah, and generally
when you're out
with this alcohol content, generally the portions are smaller. I mean, this one is coming in a 22-ounce bottle, but I would tend to think that this is being sold with the intent of it being more of a dinner bottle. Yeah. Like this is something you would share or have with dinner, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we were talking a little while ago about we need to come up with our own version of the whole don't drink and drive thing because it's, we hear it all the time. And most of us, we hear it all the time and we still do it, to be quite frank. But I think what really resonates to me is that the reason we drink craft beer is because it's one of those quality of life things. It's because it tastes good. It's one of the ways that we really experience life, Yeah. And I think it's almost a little ironic that we would that we might overindulge in something like this and really put others and ourselves at risk by drinking and driving. So, but with that, I don't want to belabor the point. Don't want to distract from the fact that this is a great beer. But
this is a very nice beer. So thank you, Tammy Kennedy from Shipyard. And I got familiar with Shipyard out of Maine, having visited there, and I've really liked a lot of their beers. As a matter of fact, I've liked all of them so far. And I genuinely have liked all of the Shipyard beers. So give it a shot if you can get it. And it's the XXXX IPA. There it is right there. And it's the Pugsleys Signature Series. So these are just out now. So take a look at them. So it's Paul at BeerAmerica.tv.
Pink at BeerAmerica.tv.
And giddy up. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.